Hey folks, welcome to a long forgotten boss kill. I've revisited this fight after, I don't know, probably 3 years of absence, and the last time I did this in Nightmare the achievement was bugged, so I'm happy to say that after this kill from yesterday, the day prior to recording and publishing this video obviously,
Going in three,
I've been missing
2,
this one last
1.
achievement. We begin the fight with 2 melee DPS, 2 range DPS, 2 healers and 2 tanks obviously. Everybody is focusing for the first part of the fight on Firebrand and taking him down to below 20%, as low as possible. We have the 2 melee DPS standing on an inner side or right side as we face it from the entrance on Firebrand, and 2 range DPS on the left side on Stormcaller. Again, everybody is sitting as long as possible on the inner side of the tank, so both of the healers have clearer line of sight and no issues, preferably. We have one healer taking down the yellow beams on the ground, and of course the other healer is sitting with the 2 DPS on Stormcaller. The shields should be no more than 4, and they're exactly as you might remember them from level 50 Nightmare days. We have one Trandoshan shooter mob inside that has an exploding debuff icon on its bar. If you kill that mob under the shield, he's going to explode and kill the shield. That's a silly mistake I did right here, and I admit it, had the wrong target selected. That happened a couple of times. After the shields are gone, we're going back to our designated spots again. The 2 melee DPS continue bashing from melee Firebrand, the 2 range DPS bashing Firebrand again, but from ranged. The reason we keep the 2 range DPS all the way on Stormcaller is because Stormcaller does, as he does in hard mode as well, Double Destruction. Double Destruction is an ability that is placed to the 2 closest to the tank people, and during the channel, the tanking Stormcaller needs to move behind these 2 guys. We choose that to be 2 range DPS because always better not the healer to be taking damage. The healer is a possibility as well. This is the second shield. The shields appear random in Nightmare. They have 3 designated spots for both tanks: in front of the tanks, to the side of the tanks on the outside, or behind the 2 tanks. We always have 2 shields, but in Nightmare they spawn in random one of these 3 locations for both tanks. There are exploding shooters under each one of the shields and then need to be either pulled or pushed away before they are killed. You might be wondering why exactly is Volk playing Watchman in this fight. Well, I'll tell you, Watchman would not be my preferred build for this, because we have so many ults and target switching all the time that Burst is really a better choice. However, the enrage timer in Nightmare at 65 is really tight, and what I found is that we're lacking that last bit of DPS in the last burn phase, I would call it, but I'll tell you more details about that when we reach it, probably. Just so you know, if your team does have good, decent DPS and equal DPS, it is advisable to play Combat or Carnage if you're playing Sentinel, or a Burst spec for any other class. However, I found that under the shields we don't really struggle before Mortar Volley disappears for those 25 seconds during the shield phase. We don't struggle to kill and clear off the 3 mobs under the shield, so I could easily afford to play a dot spec. Remember, using AoE is strictly forbidden in Nightmare because they damage the shield. You cannot target the shield, but you can damage it with any sorts of AoE attacks or reflects. That's why I had to spread my dots manually, the old-fashioned way. After we bring Firebrand to below 20%, the shields stop appearing, which is going to allow all of us to go on Stormcaller. In Nightmare there is a mechanic where Stormcaller's Double Destruction cannot be placed on the 2 same people twice in a row because they overlap, and once that happens there is a mechanic that says you're game over. There is no way for you to prevent that with buffs or something else. It's just a mechanic that kills you.
Okay.
Which forces us, once we focus on Stormcaller, obviously as you can see my focus target, Firebrand, we leave him on about 15 to 10%. Our range DPS keep dotting him and damaging him until he drops down to about 5 or 4%, in other words, ready to be finished off. Then we all move to Stormcaller. 2 groups of DPS on the left side and second group of DPS on the right side. We are doing this so that the tank can rotate with double destruction once to the left side and once to the right side. This tactic works very nice at level 65 because almost no group has the amount of DPS required to pull off the original classic mechanic from level 50, which is 2 DPS on Stormcaller, 2 DPS on Firebrand, and taking them both at the same time. We're doing this tactic right here and it actually works well for us. Class buffs, raid buffs and anything else is very highly desirable unless, again, your team has an insanely high DPS amount or you're bringing the right classes. We had a normal standard group setup of not only and all overpowered classes for this fight, so we actually did struggle, and you're about to see in a moment that we faced Enrage on 1% from both tanks. In this last phase, when we're burning Stormcaller, the tanks have to switch position and change targets. So they have to communicate as well which side on Stormcaller is ready to take double destruction. Once you take double destruction, you will see on your character's debuff bar an icon very similar to the tank toggle ability for the Vanguard, for example. I think it was Vanguard. I don't play the class often and I might be mistaken. Very close to the finishing moment, and there it is, the Enrage on. Okay, it was, I think, 2% on Stormcaller and 1% on Firebrand. You have to be quick, because otherwise they are going to... the Firebrand is usually the one that has to die second, and if that is delayed for too much, he buffs himself or itself with a defensive shield, which significantly lowers the damage taken. And during Enrage, you cannot really afford that. Well, thank you for watching this video. Again, if you've missed it, and if you prefer, the same video is available without my commentary. See you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If so, click the like button and help me out. Also leave a comment and let me know what you think. Visit my website vogt.com for daily videos and news, and stay in touch by following me on Facebook and Twitter. To help me improve and expand, consider becoming my patron with a small monthly pledge.